Students, our next topic is motion of a charged particle in a uniform magnetic field. Consider a uniform magnetic field of induction B acting along OX in the plane of paper. Let a charged particle of mass m and carrying charge plus q this enter this field with a velocity v by making an angle theta with the direction of OX. Resolving this velocity v vector into two rectangular components, we have first component v cos theta, which we can also call v1. We have resolving v into two rectangular components, we have v cos theta is equal to v1 acting in the direction of magnetic field, and the second rectangular component is v sin theta, which we can call v2 acting perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. For the component velocity v2, the force acting on the charged particle due to magnetic field is F vector is equal to q into v2 vector cross b vector, or in terms of its magnitude we can write F is equal to q v2 vector cross b vector, its modulus. Now we can write this as F is equal to q v2b sin 90, because angle between v2 and b is 90 degrees. Sin 90 is 1, therefore this is F is equal to q v2b, or we can write it as F is equal to q v sin theta into b, because v2 is equal to v sin theta. Now direction of this F is given by right hand rule, and it is perpendicular to v2 and b. It is perpendicular to the plane containing v2 and b. As F is perpendicular to v2, therefore this F cannot change the magnitude of velocity v2 vector. It changes only the direction of motion of particle. As F is perpendicular to v2, it cannot change the magnitude of velocity v2. It changes only the direction of motion of the particle. Due to this force F, the charged particle is made to move on a circular path in the magnetic field. This force F on the charged particle due to magnetic field provide the required centripetal force necessary for motion of the particle along a circular path of radius r. Therefore F is equal to q v2b is equal to mv2 square upon r, because centripetal force is given by mv square upon r. Here v is equal to v2, therefore this is mv2 square upon r. Cancelling common factor, we get v2 is equal to bqr upon m, or v sin theta is equal to bqr upon m. Now the angular velocity of rotation of the particle in the magnetic field, omega, will be, we know that relation between linear velocity and angular velocity is v is equal to r omega. Therefore omega is equal to v upon r. Here in place of v, we have v2 upon r. As v2 is given by this, when we divided this by r, we get omega is equal to bq upon m. This is the angular velocity of rotation of particle in the magnetic field. Now the frequency of rotation of the particle in the magnetic field will be, we know that omega is equal to 2 pi nu, therefore nu is equal to omega upon 2 pi. As omega was bq upon m, and dividing it by 2 pi we get bq upon 2 pi m. Now the time period of revolution of particle in the magnetic field will be, time period is inverse of frequency. Now putting the value of nu, we get t is equal to 2 pi m upon bq. We know that frequency and time period, they do not depend upon velocity of the particle, because we have in these formulas we do not have v. Therefore frequency and time period do not depend upon velocity v of the particle. It means all the charged particles having same specific charge. Specific charge is charge per unit mass, but moving with different velocities at a point, they will complete their circular paths due to component velocities perpendicular to magnetic field in same time. This means all the charged particle having same specific charge but moving with different velocities at a point, they will complete their circular path due to component velocities perpendicular to magnetic field in same time. Now for the component velocity v1 is equal to v cos theta. For the component velocity v1 is equal to v cos theta, the force on the charged particle due to magnetic field will be 0, because force is given by F is equal to q v cross b, or we can write is F is equal to q v b sin theta. As v1 and b, they are acting in same direction, therefore angle between them is 0, therefore sin 0 is 0, therefore F is 0. Therefore, for component velocity v1, there will be no force on the charged particle in the magnetic field, because angle between v1 and b is 0. Therefore, charged particle covers the distance in the direction of magnetic field with constant speed v1 is equal to v cos theta. Therefore, due to component velocity v2, it moves on a circular path, and for component velocity v1, the charged particle covers the linear distance in the direction of magnetic field. Therefore, under the combined effect of two component velocities, the charged particle in magnetic field will cover linear path as well as circular path. That is, this means the path of the charged particle will be helical, whose axis is parallel to direction of magnetic field. Due to component velocity v2, for the component velocity v2, it moves on the circular path, and for component velocity v1, it moves on the linear path. Therefore, under the combined effect, it will move on the helical path like this. So therefore, it covers circular path as well as linear path. Therefore, under the combined effect of two velocities, the particle will move on a helical path whose axis is parallel to OX. Now, distance covered by the charged particle in the magnetic field in the time equal to one revolution of its circular path, which is known as pitch of helix. This will be distance is equal to velocity into time. Velocity along linear path is v1 and time is t. And in place of v1, we can write v cos theta, and time period we have determined is 2 pi m upon bq. Therefore, distance covered by the charged particle in the magnetic field in the time equal to one revolution of its circular path, which is known as pitch of helix, will be equal to this. Therefore, we make following conclusions. First, if the charged particle is at rest in the magnetic field, if magnetic field is this, and if the charged particle is at rest, v is equal to 0, then force on the charged particle due to magnetic field is F v cross b, or F is equal to q v b sin theta. As v is 0, therefore F will be 0. Therefore, there will be no force on the charged particle in magnetic field if it is at rest. Second, if the charged particle is moving in the direction of magnetic field or in a direction opposite to magnetic field, then force on the charged particle is given by F is equal to q v b sin theta. Here, if it is moving in the direction of magnetic field, then theta is 0, or it is moving in a direction opposite to magnetic field, theta is 180. Now sin 0 is equal to 0 and sin 180 is equal to 0. Then force on the charged particle moving in the direction of magnetic field or in a direction opposite to magnetic field is 0. This means they continue to move with same velocity. Third, if the charged particle is moving in a direction perpendicular to magnetic field is along this and charged particle is moving along this, then F is equal to q v b sin theta. This will be q v b, theta is 90, sin 90. F is equal to q v b, which is maximum. Therefore, as this force is perpendicular to V and B, therefore, due to this force, the charged particle will move on a circular path in the magnetic field. Due to this force, the charged particle moves on a circular path.